alternate, so that seems to be doing just fine for now.
All right.
If it fucks up and dives off one end, we'll
know. You know.
Right, hold on. I've got one thing to go.
choke it and hate fucking.
So,
you asked for this.
welcome to the Sequel Podcast. I'm Matt Bonta.
I am Dakota Kimes.
And I'm Cory Easley.
And this is our
Spooky pooky.
first Halloween.
Oh, is that the... Okay.
It's the
ambiance.
ambiance.
I was like, what is that? Like, pull a headphone off. Like,
It's getting scary.
Shit's going down, dude.
Your guys are all falling down, man. What the fuck?
It's because things are getting intense in here. People are moving
Stand 'em
tables
up.
and shit.
Stand him up.
We're going to bust out the Ouija board.
Welcome to my nightmare, bitch.
All right, so Dakota wants to start off with couples costumes.
Okay.
how do you feel about them?
That's a topic?
Not like ideas.
No, for sure.
So, have you done couples costumes?
Yes. So I feel I've been to yours.
You've been to the party in a couple's costume, kind of.
I feel like
father and daughter, but I mean,
it was supposed to be creepier than that.
I don't know if it gets any creepier than that.
Well, I didn't even know what the girl's character name is.
Baby.
Is it Baby?
Yeah.
Then they're supposed to be.
They are father and daughter.
Right, but
Captain Spaulding and Baby. That's her
Okay.
dad.
But in them, are they?
No.
Is it weird?
It's not
weird.
weird. No, it's not weird.
So we made it weird. Cool. Captain Spaulding died.
Yeah, the real Captain
The
Spaulding.
real Captain Spaulding
Sid
is
Haig.
no longer with us.
So what are your couple costumes? Cory?
Which ones have we done?
Yes, that you could remember.
Let's see.
And or have you...
So
And has your child been included in the...
Yeah, so
the triage?
We try to do like a family theme, you know?
Hell yeah.
So that because it's fun to get ready for Halloween, and everybody's like, I want to be this thing in this little universe, and I want to be this thing. So 1 year, it was wild. Our whole family did Star Wars, just as a generalized theme.
Hell
right?
yeah.
So, because my son, who was probably, I want to say 4 or 5 at the time,
Forced into this situation.
he wanted to. No, he started it.
Okay.
We always let him pick.
Yep.
We're like, what do you want to do? What do you want to be for Halloween? And then we try to, make our costumes
Fit into
around
that.
So you
what
did
he wants to be.
Darth Vader and she was Leia,
So
keeping with the father-daughter thing
Keeping with the incestual thing here.
that you are
Apparently
known
there's a
to
creepy
do.
thing. Yeah, I'm into that. Never mind. We won't go there tonight. So we did Star Wars, and he wanted to be a clone trooper.
Okay.
He wanted to be.
You want to be a generic background extra?
No, he wanted to be Captain Rex or whatever from the animated series. I don't know if you guys watch.
No, I'm
Okay,
not familiar.
I've seen almost all of the 2 original animated series. Not original, but the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
I've seen almost all of that. That's what happens when you get unemployed.
Hey, this is kind of cool, man.
You're
man,
like,
man.
ooh, Star Wars. I'm gonna watch 4, 5, 6, and then I'll go back and watch 1, 2, 3. I need more Star Wars.
Yeah.
You just start shaking, and you just watch the whole thing, and it's like you're watching this kid's cartoon. So he wanted to be Captain Rex, and which is one of the lead clones or whatever, right? They're all the same, but they're all different. There's a whole lesson there in the show, but regardless, he started watching it. He's like, I like this character, and his friends were into it and stuff. And then I cheated. I bought a fucking Chewbacca adult jammy onesie thing.
You
from
bought
Walmart.
a rug.
Onesies
and fucking
are wearing
wrapped
that,
it
dude.
around yourself.
It was a fucking carpet with a bandolier.
Because if it's cold outside, trick or treat
It was
is
perfect
nice.
though.
Yeah,
It
dude.
was it was actually hot.
Really?
Marching around out in the street. Dude, I stripped down only my boxers under this thing. It's fucking can't be 40 degrees outside, and it's windy. And it's fucked up. The kids are wearing jackets over their costumes and stuff. The wife did. What did she do? She did Padme. So like a episode 1 thing.
Yeah.
With the when she's dressed as the handmaiden.
Yeah.
costume.
From Phantom Menace.
Was that Phantom Menace? No, I think that was the
talking
first
like a-
one.
You're thinking...
No, she was a handmaiden in Phantom Menace.
No.
Yes.
Was that number one? Was that
That was
episode
number one. That was
okay,
episode one.
that's right.
Yeah, no.
Which is funny.
Because
is
after
like
that, she is Queen Amidala.
right? Because she's
She
not
outs
actually
herself.
a handmaiden.
Right. She outs
She's
herself at the end of that
doubling.
movie.
Right. She was doubling, even though she was actually the queen. She was handmaiden during all of the shit that was going down because she was hiding.
Right, and she's getting all shitty like, the
Well, I
Queen
don't-
wouldn't approve of this. Well, I don't approve.
I
of it.
think the queen chose my judgment.
And it's like the Queen doesn't need to know about this.
Tell the queen that I don't know who she is. I hope that she wants. But I will find her, and I will kill her.
Good luck.
And then, it's like, it starts out with whatever the boy wants to be. So he goes, I want to do this. And then I'm like, okay, well, like my easiest thing, I try not to overdo it, because my brain wants to cosplay Halloween
Right.
and go way too far with a costume. And you never
That's
have
where
time.
cosplay begins.
Right.
It begins with Halloween.
You go, oh, I want to do this thing. And then you just take it further and further and further until you're like, legit have the whole shit down. And you're like, become that character, which is cool. Like, I've always wanted to do like a legit all the way cosplay. Yeah. I've never committed to it enough to actually build a whole
Yeah, the
thing.
time and money and
Right.
mostly time.
And even not...
Well, it's mostly time. You need to go like a year ahead
exactly.
to work on
like,
something.
you have to be ahead, and I'm always
It's
slacking.
not like,
Yeah.
this shit's going on in a month.
So
Last
then-
year, it was the night before I was finishing my costume and Calvin's costume.
Yeah.
Just like, fuck!
It's
It's
always
like 11 at night. Like, motherfucker, why isn't this working?
So it starts out with the boy, and then it's like, okay, well, we'll figure out something to be like in that realm to match up. And then I was like, okay, well, the Chewbacca thing's like hella easy. I'll just get the stupid fucking suit.
That's this guy with the fucking
The old lady-
Pokemon costume.
The old lady bought it, threw it on, done deal.
Or no, wasn't it last year you were Piglet and
No, that was
Eeyore?
the year before. Last year we did
No, I thought you showed up on my Halloween party as Piglet and Eeyore.
That was
last
the year
year.
before.
With
Oh,
your son?
no.
It was last year.
No, you're right, because we wore the Piglet and Eeyore ones from the year before. Because because I hadn't finished our Halloween costumes until the night before Halloween. We were like, we're gonna go trick or treating the following day. I had to go to work. I didn't
And
have
what
any
was
time
it that you did?
Last year was the Wizard of Oz. I was the Tin Man. Nicole was the
Dorothy, I'm
Scarecrow.
assuming? Oh, okay.
No, Morgan was Dorothy, and then Calvin was the Lion.
Nice.
It
How
was
old
awesome.
was
3 months old, 2 months
Perfect.
old.
It's
Oh yeah,
perfect.
dude. I just got him like
Little-
bundled up. Yeah. We got him like a hoodie. And I
Yeah.
found like one of the makeshift women's lion costumes. It was like a little fur thing that goes around your head. So I sewed that to the hood.
Nice.
And then the little hand things at the bottom of the
Uh-huh.
sleeves. Poked his hands through them. Sewed a tail on the back of the hoodie. Done.
He was the cutest motherfucker of the whole block.
Hell yeah. But then the year
kids' costumes are
before.
hella fun.
Oh yeah. Then the year before with just Morgan, we were
Eeyore,
Eeyore.
Piglet, right?
Nicole was Eeyore.
You were
I
Piglet?
was Piglet.
That's hella fun.
Morgan was Tigger. My dad was Winnie the Pooh, and then my mom was Kanga and Roo.
Nice.
Dude, it was awesome.
So that's how
Why
our
would
family
why
goes.
would
Like, we keep
Morgan not end up being Rue in a situation where there is a
a baby,
a
character.
baby and a
Because we couldn't find the costume.
okay.
And then figuring out the logistics of strapping her to Nicole. I don't know.
That seems easy enough.
would've
They
been
have
relatively
straps
easy.
for babies.
We figured it out, man. It worked, all right?
You just go with the flow.
Yeah.
Like you have all these plans. You're like, we could do this.
All right, now
this year
this
it's... What did we land on? I totally forgot.
Think about it.
Yep, I'll get back to you.
So last year we did last year we did something completely. It was like 3 years ago. We did Star Wars. So I was Chewie. Callan was the clone trooper. The wife did Padme, and then my mom and my stepdad wanted to get in on the whole thing. They're like, everybody's like, "Oh, I want to be part of it."
Yeah.
So then
They
my
each
mom
get
did a
Chewbacca
Han Solo,
onesies.
like she legit did her own Han Solo thing, and she
That's
like
awesome.
she loves building costumes and shit, and like going to the dollar store because that's how she grew up. Like you don't buy costumes, you go fucking.
And your stepdad
Find
was
some-
Kylo Ren, father and son situation.
son.
Since you guys you got a whole family
Yeah.
incest thing going.
He's hooked on this incest thing. Man. You're the only one.
I gotta get my jokes in, okay?
And then my cousin showed up, and she did like this Darth Vader thing, like with like a girl Darth Vader version or whatever. Like she did the same thing, and they like did all this. And we did Toy Story last year because Callan wanted to be fucking Green Army Man.
There you go.
Like that's what he wanted to do. So I found him like some shit, like a slicker suit, like a fireman slicker toy at the whatever the Goodwill store, and I like legit green spray painted it all.
Hell yeah!
It looked hella good. But he's like a sensory thing. Like he won't let me paint his face.
Really?
Oh, he didn't want it.
He didn't go green.
So he didn't go green face. Like he
close your eyes.
Right? Like I bought the makeup and stuff, and I was like, dude, this is gonna be so funny. Let's just do the whole thing.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't have it.
What about like a green mask?
That would have been like a nice, but again, it was like last minute. Like the paint was fucking sticky on his little suit when I got done with it. But it was cute. I found a little helmet and all the little stuff, and like fucking spray painting a pair of jeans or something like the night before.
There
like,
you go.
It's gonna dry. And then I did Woody. The wife did Bo Peep. My mom and my dad did Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head.
Dude, that's awesome.
It was hella funny.
And this year?
This year, because of the new baby, we're going with Incredibles.
There you
Because we
go.
went to Disneyland and they rethemed California Screaming to an Incredicoaster. And it's like centered around Jack being like all crazy
Multi-powered.
with his powers and stuff and like bouncing around. So like the roller coaster tries to tell a story, which is actually really cool. And I don't know if you've been recently.
No, I haven't.
But it's fun.
I've been on California Screaming, which is an awesome ride.
So they didn't change the ride, but they rethemed it and they put the incredible stuff throughout it.
Yeah.
So that they're like, oh, and then they're like talking on radios and stuff. They had the character voices, and so it's fun. Like they added another little layer.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool. So we did that, and then the wife, she went. I think she ordered them on fucking Target online or something, and it's like Mr. Incredible, whatever, and like just the family.
Got them already?
Yeah, done deal.
I remember what we were doing now.
Straight up bought them and cheated.
Oh, dude.
Bought all of it, but you know what? Everybody put their shit on because we did Incredibles themed birthday party because Sam's birthday is on the 2nd of October, so he's like Halloween-y kind of baby.
Yeah.
So we all dressed up to do pictures and shit for his birthday.
Hell yeah.
So.
All right, so what is it that you're doing?
We're doing Super Mario.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm Bowser. Morgan is Princess Peach, and then Nicole and Cal are going to be Mario and Luigi.
Nice.
Yeah, dude.
Little kids as Mario and Luigi, especially with the mustache and little white gloves.
Oh yeah.
Super funny. So what's your approach? No, just don't do it.
No, there's just so much going on.
Sure.
This month.
I mean, previously though, have you guys done like a couples thing, or like?
No, she usually works. I mean, oh well, no, because at the Halloween party last year,
right.
I was Predator.
Oh really?
I was Predator, and my brother was here, so him. I'm not sure if we dressed the baby up, but it was him, his girl, and Rose. They were all in army fatigues.
Okay. So
they were like the unit that were after the Predator, I guess.
Why haven't I seen pictures of your Predator costume? Was it decent?
It was okay.
Was it okay?
Do you remember?
I thought it was cool.
So I mean, like, well, because I'm thinking, like, how can I come up with a Predator costume?
Do something right.
So, and you see so many different variations of Predator,
sure,
like all the different kinds of action figures and everything else. So what I ended up doing was I bought like a leotard, like a unitard that was like a cheetah print, and then I got like a cheetah print slippers, like bear slippers. And then I had, like, you remember that, like, kind of leather thing that I had for the wedding?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I remember that.
That was part of it. I had the gloves. And then I had, like, a mask that also had the mask that goes over the mask. Like, it wasn't the greatest mask in the world, but, like...
I thought it was
it's
cool,
Halloween.
dude.
Yeah.
It was, and that was my Predator costume.
That's cool, though. Like... it's ingenious. Like, it's ingenuous. Like, you just...
I don't know. My favorite ones, my favorite Halloween costumes are like when you get an idea and you just go to Savers and you just like roll through and like this'll work and this'll work and this'll work.
Right?
And,
you buy little pieces and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, fucking this thing. And like you're in the women's section and you're like,
yeah, dude, I
like,
need some of
this
these.
thing, right?
That's
So-
Nicole and I did the Fairly Odd Parents one year.
Oh, nice.
Dude, yeah, Cosmo and Wanda. That was
Hell
probably
yeah.
my favorite
Super fun.
one. I had a beard at the time, painted it all green, and we did like the little headbands, the little floating crown that we like glued on ourselves. And
Keep going, Dakota. Don't stop talking.
There you
yeah,
go.
dude, it was a lot of fun.
The 6'4" piglet.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. So
I
like,
still wear that thing when I'm like,
it's cold outside. I'm gonna put
nah,
the piglet
dude,
suit
what the
on.
fuck was it? It was like 2 weeks ago. I had a bunch of stuff going on the weekend. I had class on Saturday.
See, that's fucking classy as shit, dude. I dig that.
Oh, is that his Predator costume? Yeah.
That looks hella good.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Like, and when you said cheetah print for the top or for the body, I was like, cheetah print.
Well, you know,
What
because
the
the
fuck?
Predator
But
kind
if you
of
think about it,
has, like,
his skin is kind of cheetah printy.
Yeah.
It looks kind of
Rather
like
than
that.
like making scaly skin that you're
But
supposed to
no,
put
that's
on.
fucking awesome, dude. The mask is dope. I like that. Is that like a Halloween store mask they picked up, or
it
you, like,
is.
ordered?
No, I
or
had
is
to-
it
I
like
had
a
to- I had
better
to buy
piece?
it.
Is that a better piece than like what you could buy at the Halloween store?
Yeah, but it still wasn't like super.
Not ultra. I mean, in pictures, it looks fucking great, dude. I'm jelly.
Oh, here's this awesome picture.
Why does it look like somebody ralphed on your floor, bro?
She dropped all of the
Oh no.
like chow mein all over
Dude,
the.
yeah.
Dude. Doesn't it seem like we drop something in your kitchen like every year? Like we make a big fucking mess on the floor in the kitchen?
Somewhere, yeah.
I think that happens regularly.
I think multiple times I've like grabbed a towel and scooted it across his floor.
Is this the same? Here's
Like,
another one of them.
oopsie. Oops-a-daisy. Yeah, I like the Special Forces, like, that's kind of a nice generic group costume.
Hell
It's
yeah.
like,
We're all in the army.
easy
Bam.
peasy, yep. So, I don't know. I think like, you know, couples or like group costumes when you're hanging out with a bunch of people and everybody kind of does the same thing.
It's fun.
That's fun.
So
I think one year we did superheroes,
yeah.
like generally, and just, I think we even mixed it up. We didn't like, nobody cared DC Marvel. Like,
Yeah,
we didn't,
mix
we
them all
didn't-
together. They're
we
all
just did
superheroes.
everything, right? But like, since my kid was little, like he wanted to do Batman. So we're like, you know, but we don't want to buy him like this like $40 fucking Batman costume,
Yeah.
right? So the wife, you know, she whips out some material and stuff, and she sewed him up, like took a pair of, you know, gray sweatpants, and he did like the Adam West color Batman, I think.
There you go.
Right? Or the gray and the black.
Gray and black layered.
Or maybe that was like first gen cartoon. I'm not sure who the character would be.
I
But
think either one would be layered
Yeah.
black and gray.
yeah, it's black and gray, but you know, and like made like a pants and sweatshirt with little gauntlets and a little thing.
Hell yeah.
And I was like trying my hand at making shit, and I was like, I'm gonna make him the cowl, right? And it wasn't really like a whole thing. It was just the headpiece.
Yeah.
But I took and I had an idea, and I didn't look it up. I didn't like Pinterest it. I didn't get a fucking pattern.
Yep.
I just got some felt, and I'm like, okay, I can think of how to put this together, how I would make it if I was just going to come up with it. And I did these like little half circles, and then, you know, I traced it all out on a thing, and then I cut it out and lay it flat so that I could put it together, and I like stitched it together and everything, and then like it just worked really well. Like he was in preschool, and everybody else at the preschool was like, this was on the south end of town, so it was like kind of a high end preschool.
Yeah.
So everybody else's kid was in like pristine store costumes.
Dude,
and
we
he
spent
comes-
$120 to make
He comes
him
to
look
school
like...
in the shit that we made him,
Yeah.
and like everybody was like, dude, that is the coolest, you know, because you don't find that at the store. Like it's a different suit than everybody else has.
I like, again, it's that same thing. I like making it and like taking and putting some energy into it, and like,
yeah.
because you make what you want, and you make like your vision or your version
Exactly.
of something. Dude,
Your vision version.
yeah. And again, that skill of just being able to like, I don't know how to make this,
but I'm
gonna
fucking
figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out, and like that confidence, man. Like, I don't know, when something goes into it, and even if it's not perfect,
that's part of it. Though, it's a character piece.
I love that. I love that effort, and I love that with pretty much anything, not just Halloween costumes. Like,
but I think that's one of the things, especially being like into making films and stuff like that. Like, we make shit. And even if we don't know how to make it, we don't know what the fuck we're doing. We're gonna figure it out anyway. and even, you know, like the first time Matt asked me to help with making a movie, like he's like, I want these effects, and I'm like, fuck, okay. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do for that.
Have you ever done that before? No. But can you figure it out? Yes.
Absolutely. You know, and some of the things that we tried, it didn't come out so great, but you know, visually it kind of worked. And then a couple of, it's like sometimes you get like that piece of gold, and I'm like, the one thing that I'm proud of the most
guts
was the wall. Dakota, like that.
Dude,
making the guts. That was fun.
The sausage casing with the spaghetti.
Sausage casing and the spaghetti. Like, I got the idea offline, but doing it, like making it up.
What wall are you talking about?
This was in Godsalt when she was inside the house. When we were at Patrick
Grandma's
right.
House. She's shooting through the
That
house.
was my favorite effect that I've ever done. Like, probably of all time.
Yeah.
Because that was the coolest looking piece, I think, on film.
Well, you were shooting the baby powder? Were you shooting the baby powder?
Yeah, because I built a light box, basically, that was a piece of siding painted to look like the outside of the house.
Yeah.
And then I built boxes to enclose the halogens, so the halogens would only shine through the back.
The holes.
And then I made plugs for holes that we drilled with fishing line that we pulled out, you know, on a timing.
Yeah.
And then we cut back and forth. Or no, we filmed all one side and then filmed all the other side. But we were like trying to do baby powder inside the light box or on the front or whatever.
Oh, so that it would pull out?
Yeah, so the light would make these little tracer holes through like the movies do.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like and maybe it's just like idealized in my mind when we did it, but the way the plugs came out, yeah, here it is.
Well, I mean, you can keep talking.
I remember when we were on set, we were doing this one,
and he couldn't.
And he could not light the cigar. I was like, and I was smoking back then, and I was like, dude, watch. I was like, when you're smoking, you have to put it in. You have to commit to this thing. You have, especially with the cigar.
You have
to like drag air into your mouth and puff it out. Like, don't inhale that shit; it'll make you ill. But I don't know, it was fun. And then this was when we hung Robert too. That was another part.
Yeah.
Same day, different part of the scene. Or different part of the movie. But we...
strung Robert up.
Well,
he's hanging there when they first walk in.
Yeah. We strung him up in the garage. And we made it look like he was hanging from his neck. And I was kind of proud of that look, too. Like, that looked pretty good. You came
through on this. This was your day one,
That was the first day anybody had ever met me. I showed up. And I had never met Robert. I had never met any of the other cast.
Maybe
this is my buddy's...
gun
357 mag, and I went to the gun store and I bought blanks, and we're in the house. We're legit shooting blanks out of that gun, and it was fucking insanely loud.
Because you've never shot. You were like, I've never shot a gun off.
I've never shot a gun off inside of anything.
Well, I've never been around gunfire either.
Like,
no, you're out in the desert and there's an open air environment.
And it steals the light out of the room as well.
It does, because it flashes so hard.
It goes black every time.
It does. It overexposes your eyes, so that the light, it makes your eyes dilate, and then you don't have as much light anymore. So it's weird. It's like shooting at night. Which I haven't done a whole lot of, because you're not really supposed to, but it's super fun.
Remember fucking in Street Toughs when we were out there filming at night and there was like a graduation party or something?
Oh my god. We thought we were going to die, dude.
Why?
Because we were out in the desert and it was fucking graduation.
And it was pitch black where we were.
And we were in the dark. Like we had built like the shack, but it was only part of it. It wasn't fully enclosed, so it didn't look like a whole building.
Yeah.
But we had tried to set it up, and it was late in the day, and we're getting all this shit up, and it was me and Matt and Sam
and
Derek.
And that's it.
Was that it?
Well, Ivy came and helped us bring that shit out.
That's right, because she drug the trailer out there
Casey also helped point us to a spot maybe, or...
No, because I had been out there, but we kind of just drove until we found something that looked like it would work. And then, like, I'm out there, we're out there with fucking screw guns, like, trying to build this, like, makeshift shack. We took the shack that we actually filmed in my garage, and we disassembled it, and we put it on the back of a trailer. And then we took it out in the desert because we wanted... We
needed some exterior
We
scenes.
needed some exteriors.
We needed some exteriors.
Of, close as we could get to the shack.
Yeah.
Without being too departed, like where people were in the same frame as being outside and being inside of the shack, where people were going into it.
So it's nighttime now, and it's pitch dark out, and cars keep driving by, and then one car comes back, and he's shooting a gun off out into the desert.
But they're shooting it off in the other direction.
Yeah, but we still all fucking hit the ground.
We were laying on the ground waiting for them to keep
leave.
Going. Like, we didn't holler at them or anything.
Like, they basically came in and stopped.
They're
like,
high school
we're
kids.
out a little bit, but they were waiting for, like, another car to come in to then...
Keep going.
Yeah, keep going, show them.
It was like a bonfire pit party kind of thing.
Yeah. Were you guys out, like, east
out
of
in
town?
Cold Springs.
Oh,
out in the back of Cold Springs, yeah, which I didn't know they did that out there. But they were out there fucking popping guns, and you could tell they were drunk. And it's like, I didn't want to confront them because you don't know where anybody's headspace is. You know
and especially if somebody's got a gun, you don't want to be like, hey, what the fuck, dude? You firing this off and we're right out here? What the fuck are you doing?
Exactly.
We had guns too, right? We had guns too. Not real
you don't want
ones,
to get in a stand-up. So that's a lose-lose, dude. What the fuck are you talking about?
But that was nuts. That was one of those nutty situations.
I don't even think I had my gun.
And you kept saying, like...
I wish I had fucking brought my gun.
Because you say you always bring it or whatever in such situations.
We'll be out in the desert at night, fucking, like, I'm carrying a gun.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what the fuck you're going to say.
Some
like,
coyote.
Yeah, but you
it's
didn't
not
have
even coyotes
anymore.
do bobcats. Like, I'm more afraid of cats
lions.
than I am
Yeah,
lions and shit like that. But, so that was kind of wild. But,
we were talking about costumes and stuff. Do we got anything spooky to talk about?
That's kind of spooky.
Anything
We're
scary?
on topic.
Anything scary happen?
So I'm trying to put myself in this headspace on the way here, like trying to think of like, what can I talk about that?
Well, I've got
relates.
I've got Reddit up, and under the scary stories category, and I could read one of these, and we can kind of bounce off of it.
Okay.
So, like, just how about this one? What's wrong with my house? Let's read that. And it's short too. One day, me and my friend were hanging out at my house. We were being very stupid and trying to contact spirits. To be honest, we thought it was bullshit. All of a sudden, I heard...
Go ahead. Nope. I got a story.
All of a sudden, I heard a sudden thump against my floor. The cross that I had put on my desk hours ago flew across my room and is lying on my floor. Me and my friend both look at each other. I can see tears in his eyes. He was horrified. He keeps writing this. All of the sudden, my closet door slams shut and I hear this horrible, evil laugh. What is wrong with my house?
All of the sudden?
All of the sudden.
All of the sudden.
So, I mean, it's not like super spooky. Are you spooked by it?
No. It reminds me of something. So, I was fucking with Ouija board. I was probably 14 or 15. It was before I had my license. And so, we were living in this condo complex. And across the condo complex, my buddy Cody lived across the street from two sisters and a cousin who lived with both of their dads who lived together. So, Mallory, Sam...
So it would have been like brothers and then their daughters?
Yes.
Okay.
So Mallory and Rachel were sisters. Sam was the cousin. And so it's the two dads are out hanging out doing their thing. We're hanging out over at their house. Sam pulls out a fucking Ouija board. And I'm like, this is bullshit. Like, this is dumb. Like, so...
I don't get it.
This is stupid. Whatever. But we're talking to this guy, and
so how many of you are there?
There's 5. It's me, my buddy Cody, and then Mallory, Rachel, and Sam.
And what time of day is this?
Oh, and Tristan. So there's a third guy. Okay. So there's 6 of us. It's probably...
Is it dark?
Oh, yeah. It's like 10 or 11 at night.
No parents?
No parents. Hanging out. We had been playing video games, and then Sam brings down the Ouija board.
Okay.
So
Your classic Parker Brothers.
Yeah, just
Milton
basic,
Bradley,
like, in a box. Fucking, here you go. And Tristan was the kind of guy to, like, fuck with people. Tristan was always fucking with people. Thought it was hilarious.
Okay,
to scare the shit out of people. So,
all right,
we're talking to this spirit. And...
No, okay. You can't just jump into it like that. Like, are there spirits in the house?
Yes, and we're asking,
here?
like, the sequence of questions, like, is there anyone here? Is there anyone willing to talk to us? And... You know, go through, we're probably doing this for like a half hour, and everybody's got a single finger on the...
6 people, 1 finger on the
One
planchet.
finger on the...
Planchet?
Planchet? Is that what it's called?
I believe so.
I thought it was a widget.
A widget is like an electronic device, that a random placement for something that you don't want to... You don't call it's just a designation as what a widget is.
Oh, okay.
That's a planchet.
Okay, so 1 finger on
Proper
the planchet
noun.
for everybody. And so they ask, like, is there any of us that you don't like?
Oh,
or, like,
shit.
anybody that you're, like, out to get? Slides over to yes.
And then you're like, who?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we ask who. It slides over to D.
Oh.
And I'm the only
You're
one
the only
whose
D.
name starts with D, dude. And I'm like, Tristan, you motherfucker, like, fucking with us. And I've done this like 3 or 4 times by this time.
Isn't
like,
the
dude,
isn't the
quit
big
fucking
joke?
with us.
Isn't the big joke like you're moving it? I'm not
Exactly.
moving it. You're moving
exactly.
it.
Like, you're the one.
That
it's
was
you.
I remember that being the commercial for the Ouija board back in the day. It was like, you're moving it. No, I'm not moving it. You're moving it.
Yeah. And everybody's supposed to stay neutral on the thing, and it just kind of slides around. Yes. So, and they're like, it slides over to D, and then it starts to slide back over, and like, do you not like Dakota? Is Dakota the one you don't like? It slides over to yes.
Yes.
And so I get fucking goosebumps. Dude.
Whose house are you at?
We're at Sam, Mallory's, and Rachel's.
Okay.
And so
Is this in
slides
town
over to
somewhere?
yes. It's right over. So you know where Goldie Way is on Bering?
No.
Uh,
Yeah, by the firehouse?
so the firehouse is on Truckee Lane.
So this is by
there's that
you,
light.
then.
There's that light in the middle, and then there's Sparks Boulevard.
Yeah.
I grew up. Bradley Square is right, like literally.
The same house your dad lives in.
No.
Okay.
So it was right before we moved in. Kathy owned the house that my dad still lives in. And so from the end of my sophomore year in high school, we moved into there. So sophomore year, junior, senior year, I was there. And so it's the condo that my dad lived in while he and Kathy were dating. They lived together, or they lived apart for like 5 or 6 years before we moved in together. So we're over at Sam Mallory's. The ghost says it doesn't like me. And I'm like, dude, Tristan, you motherfucker. Like, this is you. Why are you moving this thing? Fuck you, dude. I'm not playing this. And he's like, dude, just get back down here. Just get back down here. And so, like, they're like, do you want to hurt Dakota? And it starts moving around and slides back over to yes. Dude, I'm like, I'm out of here. I can't do this. And I turn and I stand up. And so we're in the living room. And
Are
like,
the lights off? You got like candles going, or are the lights on?
They had like a dimmer on some can lights in the living room.
Okay.
And so it's dimmed down.
About like how it is right now, or a little bit brighter, maybe?
A little bit brighter. It's almost like when you had these on. When Cory had these on when he was looking for something. So
Or me.
Yeah, kind of orangey.
When
Yeah,
I was
no, that
looking
was
for
you
something.
when you were looking through the pictures.
Because
Sorry.
this fucking light needs to, because you turn it on and it's low, but it builds up. So.
Okay.
Okay, but I got you.
But so it's that like real mellow light. So we're in the living room, and so on the far end, we're at the coffee table. At the far end of the living room is a breakfast bar that sticks out. There's a hallway that goes to the front door. In the middle of the hallway, there's a break into the kitchen, and it like a short L to the window next to the front door.
Okay.
So I stand up, and I'm like, dude, I'm out of here. I put my hands up, and I instantly get like lightheaded, like I stood up too fast.
Okay.
And I'm like,
All
holy
logical
shit.
explanation.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I'm like, I'm out of here, and like start feeling weird, and then I black out.
Okay.
They said that I like fell on all fours, started breathing all heavy, and like acting all weird, and they're like, dude, are you okay? And I wouldn't
tongues
stop,
and shit.
and like they were trying to like stop me from crawling. They're like, dude, you need to chill out. And I like kept crawling, and this went on for about a minute and a half. I had crawled out of the living room,
like on your back,
on all fours.
Okay.
And they were trying to stop me, like, yo, dude, like stop. And so I had crawled on all fours, like breathing heavy, like fucking acting weird. I wasn't like speaking in tongues and like screaming at people, like, you know, we need a priest. But
the young priest and the old priest.
But I had crawled out of the living room around around the breakfast bar all the way into the back of the kitchen, and when I came to, I was still on all fours, and my head was against the wall right below the window.
So you think this?
Yeah, I'm
so
a
you
believer.
have no
after
recollection of having physically done this.
No, dude, it's fucking weird.
Have you ever seen anybody pass out?
Yes, and where like you kind of
like
like twitch a little bit, and
like if a dude gets KO'd.
Yeah.
Right. Like they don't totally shut down, but they usually they don't move around a whole lot.
There are involuntary movements.
There are.
Yeah.
So part of it, maybe you can explain from that.
Exactly.
But that's a long fucking way to go.
It's probably like linear feet, probably a good 20 feet.
I was going to say 15 to 20 feet.
Smoking weed?
Nope. We weren't consuming any
I know
drugs
you were
like...
no,
dude, at 14, 15...
I'm going to judge you here.
No. That was later. After I got a car, shit got crazy. But
you
up until then,
went
I was
nuts,
very
and
like...
then you just went cold turkey. Right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude, no. That fucking...
So you weren't having an acid flashback when you were 15?
No. And I've only done acid the one time.
Have you seen the movie Interstellar?
Just the one time.
No, dude, one time. I want to do it again.
We talked about this last time.
I need to do it again. It was literally like the greatest experience, but it was set up and it was very like prepared.
It's curated.
It was like,
it's ready to go.
you have the next 10 hours and you're just going to be in this
beautiful
beautiful
place.
place
How about you drop some acid
beautiful
and
weather.
Bust out a Ouija board.
Hell no, dude. Fuck no.
Somebody
pulls out a Ouija board and I'm on acid, I'm smashing that thing. We're not fucking with that. Nobody near me is fucking with that. No, we're not trying to touch nothing on the other side, man. We're here. We're fucking living this.
Okay, so let's talk about a Ouija board real quick.
Let's talk about DMT.
I've done DMT once too and that was super cool. Oh my god.
So let's talk about like a Ouija board and how it works.
Amazing.
Okay.
So you've got a Ouija board, okay? You got a board and you got a planchette on it, and it's loose, right? It slides really easy.
Yeah, they got like little. It's like 3 nylon or felt pads.
Now, what's the thing where people?
You've never done a Ouija board?
No.
What?
Well, because
how the fuck? I will fuck with a Ouija board just so that you fuck with a Ouija board.
I'm totally open to it because
I'm gonna buy
very close-minded to religion and ghosts.
You gotta buy the oldest one you can find.
Can you even? Or we just fucking go down to a cemetery, rip a board off of something, and fucking sand it down. Oh my god, you guys!
Yeah, no, dude, that's extra bad. You don't
fucking sand it down.
Get your butt fingered by a demon.
You know they got those kits where you burn. You burn the letters into it.
Maybe I'll make you a Ouija board.
Well, I keep wanting to make a movie where we customize a Ouija board that looks fucking like satanic and shit.
You never told me that.
Oh, really?
I don't. Well, I mean, I've never got.
I've been looking for a woodworking project.
I wrote one like the two chicks with the box, right?
Right.
I wrote one where these two chicks are like fucking with a Ouija board, and like there's like a shit monster that's like, or it's like a tampon maybe, or something. It's something. But at the end of the story, it turns out that they just ate some bad pizza and they were
tripping.
Yeah, they were tripping like in flu and 24-hour flu and food poisoning and shit, and they're just throwing up everywhere, and they were just imagining this like tampon talking to them, like we'd make a giant tampon puppet that was like talking to them and shit. But puppet. Like I wrote that, and it's super funny. It's super fucking funny. And what did I call it? Oh, it's like toxic shock syndrome, I think is what, or TSS. That's the name of it. Is TSS. No, okay. So do they even sell Ouija boards anymore?
Yes.
Do they?
You can go down to Walmart and buy one today.
I'm willing to bet that I always look at games. I have not seen a Ouija board.
Really?
I remember
maybe it's just in my imagination that they're still available.
Because they've always used to be. Yeah, they always used to be there. Like Toys R Us, but there's not a Toys R Us anymore.
like relatively recently walking through the toy aisle of some store and seeing a Ouija board and like, nope, all right, nothing.
I'm willing to bet next time you go to your Spanish Springs Walmart, you won't see one there. And next time you go to one that is not the one that I can go to, you will not see
I'll
one
have the wife
Second
check.
Street.
I'll have the wife check
Man.
at Target on South Reno.
And I definitely always check Target because Target's got all the best games and shit.
Right, they have like the best lineup, and they usually have deals and shit. So.
But so when you hypnotize somebody, people are hypnotized. They always do the thing where like your arms are heavy, and people like lift their arms. Like these are involuntary actions. Couldn't one assume that putting your finger onto a planchette is an involuntary action that you're doing if you're kind of limp and you're just kind of doing it? And
So,
people could be subconsciously being like, Dakota's a dick, I hate that fag.
Maybe. Again, it still wouldn't explain like what happened.
so like even
Subconscious, like,
And
dude,
like
no, I have
like,
dreams.
okay,
Have
like,
I
having
talked about
passing
this on a
out
previous episode?
again.
Like, and I've been having them a lot lately because Rose tells me about it. Like, I've been having like where I'm like screaming in my dreams and shit like that. And I have
are you
these
screaming out loud.
Yeah. You know, I just fucking had one the other night. Like, in my dream, I came out here and my computer was gone, and like the garage was open, and there like shit was missing, and like I was freaking out in my dream.
Yeah.
And like it transgressed into me outwardly, physically. So Rose was like, "Oh, you know, like I freak out in certain nightmares that I have."
Okay.
Like out of body experiences or something, if that's a real thing.
So, talk about freaky shit, right? When you're sleeping, just to shift gears a little bit.
Coming from Bane over here.
I don't get it.
Because you've got the mask thing on.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I have.
You wear a CPAP?
I have sleep apnea. Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
I
It's
wear
like-
CPAP at night, and I
He's wondering
snore.
why you would shoot a man before throwing him out of a plane. It would be very painful for you. For you. No, brother. They must find one of us in the fire.
See, I know zero Bane lines from the movie, from any of it.
What is?
I know zero lines.
The only one that I know is like
Tricks and
You are part of the
theatricality.
Doctors. I was born in it.
I was born in it.
So you can get your Amazon's Choice Ouija board.
Sure, Amazon. I don't doubt that. But
For,
walking into a Walmart is what we're talking
$12.63.
about.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I remember being a kid and going to Toys R Us, and they had like a glow in the dark one.
Here we go.
You know what? I did own a Ouija board.
But you don't fuck with it?
No, because like, hold on, like before you fucking judge me, you dick. Even though I judge you.
You judgy fucking prick.
No, like we were in Santa Cruz.
I'm judging your judgment.
My previous marriage, and they had like a Buffy the Vampire Slayer Ouija board, and we bought that. But like it was not like a smooth planchette.
This is like a custom piece.
That's cool.
Like for $130, you could probably make it for finding a
you
piece
get
of.
lignum Ouija board in walnut. So it's like, it's probably
I only buy cherry.
CNC
Cherry oak.
CNC routed into a prepared plank
Yeah.
of some sort.
Well, the only thing is, if we were to grind letters into something, it would need to be like covered in plastic so that you have an equal.
You would lacquer it.
Yeah, you would lacquer it so that it's an equal surface, right?
Yeah.
And you would have to hope that the lacquer, right? So it would be slick, and so that it would not be bumpy.
You could also do like an epoxy glass top finish.
But then, how would we do a planchette that is smooth? Would we just buy a Ouija board and take
No,
it
you
out of
just
there?
make one.
Can you make one that would
Get
run
a small
smooth?
magnifying glass and then
what
you can make
exactly
one.
is
Absolutely.
it?
Okay, this is gonna be the
Right,
project.
right. You've got a
How long do
plastic
you think it'll take us
triangle.
to make one? You think we can make one before the end of the month,
For the end of this month? Yeah.
so that we could do like one last October
You would have to do
Ouija
it.
episode?
Well, look,
Dude, I don't know if
I'm
I would
gone-
like hand make a Ouija board and then fuck with it, dude.
No, look, I'm
You don't
gone
think that's
until
safe, do you?
Sunday.
No, fuck no.
that's
man.
fucking bad juju.
That's- yeah.
Okay, what if we make some?
It's
goofy
on the
At least
two
the
of
ghost
you
fingers in
because
your
I'm
asshole.
busy.
Maybe not like
okay,
a demon.
we could. Like I watched Supernatural a lot. Okay, So like I know there's some
We
stuff
just
we
do
gotta
some
do to
tequila
Crossbows
shots.
and some rope.
Do some tequila shots. You get that salt in you.
Get
So
all
yeah,
fucking
we hit
hammered.
the salt circle. Okay, we can do it in the garage. We get some goofer dust and we line the doors. Okay.
Goofer dust. Yeah, but then you wouldn't get any spirits in because they'd be
No, you
like,
don't
"We
want-
want to come
you don't-
join your party, bros, but you blocked us out with
Is
that
that
salt."
tequila? Is that tequila? I'm interested, but you got the door locked.
Brother, you know I love me some tequilas. No, but like maybe just like a salt circle so they can't get in and get you.
Just around me.
Just like we'll protect Dakota. Just stay inside the circle.
No, I'm not.
So-
okay, yeah. So you were raised religiously?
No.
So at the time you weren't religious.
No.
You only joined Catholicism post like
Marriage.
drugs.
No, it was like it
post
was
drugs, right? You
Yeah.
joined Catholicism. You found
Catholicism.
as a way to kind of guide yourself, right, and
It's
kind
still
of
Jesus.
to have something.
Yeah.
But you're not practicing anymore.
No. Yeah, I got to a point in what they call like part of your confirmation is that you go to these classes and it's catechism, and it's you go through like a separate book. And
All religions have their separate book that's different than the others.
Well, no, it's separate from the Bible.
It's a teaching book.
Yeah, and it's like kind of like
It's
these are our
It's
beliefs.
the indoctrination part of the religion.
It's all
Word.
bullshit.
and
so,
I'm not saying anything against it. It's just
No,
part
that's
of how
exactly
they
what
do
it is.
things.
But so for your confirmation, so you need to be confirmed before you can have your first communion. And
Were
I've
you
gone for like
baptized?
no, that's part of your like first communion,
So-
baptism, all that stuff.
You didn't get baptized as a Catholic.
No,
Technically,
I'm
I'm
not
still
Catholic.
going to hell.
I'm cool with that.
If
I mean,
hell
under,
were a
under
real
that was
thing,
technically.
That was my like big issue was that
Uncertainty.
the uncertainty and like and I kept asking like what makes you so certain, what makes you know that these are the answers. And so I was asking these questions for probably it's once a week. I'd been going for like 2 or 3 months. And
Did they ask you to stop coming?
no. So
I didn't mean that in a weird way. Like,
no.
Like, did you get fired?
no.
have you been excommunicated from the church?
The guy who was the priest was a guy named Father Norman King, literally like one of those pivotal people in your life.
Sure.
Phenomenal person. He had a PhD in psychology
That
or
sounds
something
about
Yeah,
something
sounds about right,
unrelated
yeah.
to the church itself.
Right.
And then he had like all of his seminary schooling
Right,
and all
right.
that stuff. But he pulled me aside after catechism and he was like, "Listen, man, these answers aren't for everybody. And these are what I choose to believe, but you don't have to believe them. You don't have to believe every word of the Bible, and if your heart's telling you that this isn't the place for you, then this might not be the place for you. If you're questioning it this much, maybe
it's not working
maybe this
for
is
you.
maybe this isn't for you, man. You can live a good life and you can take these lessons and move forward, but you don't
At
you
least he was
obviously don't
straight up with
subscribe.
you, though.
Yeah, you don't subscribe to this line of thinking. You're not going to convince me that I'm 100% wrong, and I'm not going to convince you that I'm 100% right. There are lessons for you to learn here, and I hope that you learn them."
And
I was
that's,
like,
dude, that's super
"You wanna
straightforward.
Yeah, he's literally the coolest fucking guy ever.
That's
Father
how-
Norman
that's-
King.
that's
Shout
what
out.
I'm at with
Hope
religion.
he's still alive.
Right?
Was he an old
Good
guy?
on you.
Yeah, he was
Father.
old.
Good one on you, Father.
I feel like if a lot of people in religious like
Circles.
organizations
Or
took
more
that
like that.
stance,
Yeah.
it would be a lot
Not
more
like the
palatable.
religious nuts that are out there.
Yeah,
that-
this is the answer. Ah. Like,
Well, and-
if you don't believe this, you're a terrible
Then you're
person.
wrong. If you don't believe
No.
what we say, then you're wrong.
Exactly.
And if
the closed
you've
mindedness.
obviously read the Bible or at least some of it, and
Yeah.
you've been to church and you've done those things, it's like, not to totally tangent down the religion aisle, but
No, it's okay.
it's not about being right.
You know what it rubs me as? And when I read it, it reads the same way and it feels the same way as mythology.
Well, sure.
We call these old like religious indoctrinations mythology. and this is no different.
Absolutely.
It doesn't mean that these stories are valueless and that they don't have any real world applications or anything to draw from them, but to say that these things absolutely happened.
And it doesn't mean that they didn't happen, but maybe some of it happened.
But if I'm going to roll the dice, dude, with everything else that we've learned in the last 100 years...
Yeah.
You
know, I'm like, I don't know, on the fence, because I did a similar thing. It wasn't Catholic church, but we were going to a Baptist church with my mom, and you know, we had just had the baby, and I was looking for like some grounding. I think me and the wife both were just like looking for like more community, I think.
I've had that exact same conversation with my wife
answers.
in the last 2 years. It was like, I think that going to church would be great because it's an enormous sense of community. And there are people who subscribe to a line of thinking that aligns itself with moral, what's the word? Moral, like...
teachings.
Moral value.
Moral value or moral grounding. Like,
sure, like they have a basis in something that is moral.
Yes.
Where a lot of modern society is missing that. Is missing a very large piece of morality.
Yes.
Because
and that sense of community.
It doesn't need...
You're so disconnected from people. In the last 5 years, I've noticed a huge decline in the number of people when, like, walking through the supermarket, like, make eye contact and, like, throw their hand up or, like, give you a nod.
It's mostly old people.
That. I
yeah.
don't need that.
If you get...
You hate that?
I don't need that, I said.
I do.
Leave me alone.
No, it's recognition of, like...
someone else's existence.
Exactly. And, like, people who do that are, like... Again, I attribute this to something far outside of that, but, like, people who are considerate in traffic or who are, like, considerate of other people in general, dude. Because a massive part of why I fucking hate driving on the freeway now, again, in the last 5 years, people don't give a shit. 2 lanes going down the 1 lane. How does that work?
Who gives a shit? Who's
one car from one side, 1 car from the other. 1 car from one side, but people fucking buzzing by at 60 miles an hour, getting
on the shoulder,
getting as far ahead, just trying to wedge in and. Dude, fuck people like that.
And then get all fucking pissed off and give the other guy the finger because he won't let him in. And then the 2 guys that are at the end of that fucking 60-mile-an-hour tirade, they just like, fuck you, you're not getting in here. And he's like, come on, dude, you have to let me in. The lane is ending. And they're like, fuck you, you're an asshole because you passed all those other people. Exactly. So then they stop. Which makes everybody else wait longer. And this dickhead just keeps like edging his big fucking diesel truck and he's like 3 inches away from the 2 cars. And then the one person or the other gives up and they're like, you know what? Fuck it, just let him in.
Yep.
But dude, you watch it every day. It happens every day. And the way
those people are shitty.
And the way we change that, everybody has to do their own part.
Exactly.
When I'm on the road, I try to be considerate. Not overly considerate to break the laws of traffic. So, like, right-of-way stuff. If there's a question in right-of-way, I think it's up to the drivers to sort it out. Like, if you both get there at the same time, roughly, or you don't see who got there first, somebody decide. Like, just wave the other guy on. Let him fucking go.
Well, then you're both waving.
Then you don't go, burp, burp. Like nobody knows who the fuck's gonna go. Like one of you just stand on the fucking brake pedal, wave the other guy through. Even if he waves at you, just insist, and then and then he goes, and then you go. Okay,
insist.
Or a million different scenarios where you can be a bigger person. But somebody wants to fucking slide up past you and dive in front of you, just fucking let off the gas pedal. Let them get in there. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
But one fucking car length in front of you?
Those other people... But what I was saying is those people who have that consideration for other people, that doesn't just apply to in the store nodding at other people or in traffic.
Absolutely.
It's a general space of being. Living. But I also, for me, I've found that for myself outside of religion.
But it's not impossible to do because you don't need someone to tell you that that's how you should be. It's about being universally
or just
connected as a person.
Exactly. And understanding that other people are other people and like other people love their wives the same amount. or other people care for their kids the same amount.
Or other people are having a fucking bad day.
Exactly.
You know, like one guy's having a fucking bad day, you know, let it slide.
Exactly.
Like maybe he's fucking grumpy. You don't have to call him out on it.
Yeah.
You know, fuck it.
Because there have been times I've had a bad day and I've been kind of a dick. Like I'm hoping for some forgiveness.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you don't need a book to tell you that.
Exactly.
And I think if we treated each other more fairly and equally, just in general, if everybody treated everybody better in every situation, things would get better.
Yeah.
But it has like a fucking total group effort. Everybody has to try. That's fucking losing. You know, like I generally don't give. I call them vagrants. I don't give people money.
Panhandlers.
On the street.
I don't either.
I don't give people, but sometimes I don't know what it is. And it's not the guy with the fucking cardboard sign.
Yep.
Right. But sometimes you can feel somebody's energy, right?
Yep.
Like, and you're just there, and you're like, fuck it. You know what? I mean, what is it that I don't give this guy, you know, a fucking dollar, or, you know, I empty out the fucking change in my ashtray in the car.
Yep.
Or, you know, I just bought myself lunch, and I see this dude fucking chilling, and it's like, fuck it, I'll just give him my lunch, and I'll go get another one.
Yeah.
You know, because you're feeling it right then.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It goes down a different road than what we were talking about. But like just treating people fairly and evenly, and I don't know, giving people the benefit of the doubt. It's all over the place. Like there's a lot of ways you can do it and explain it.
Yeah.
But you have to choose to do it.
Exactly.
As a person, you have to choose inside to be that way.
And it's a general faith in humankind. It's
Yeah.
that faith that like they're just down on their luck. They're good people.
Yeah.
Believing that people are good on the inside.
I've sat down with homeless guys before.
Yeah.
Like sit on the curb and, you know, and usually it's the ones that don't fucking hit me up. Like if you go to the gas station, there's just this old timer fucking leaned up against the wall and he's reading a book or whatever, but you see he's got his garbage bags and he's all fucked up and out on his luck.
Yeah.
And you can tell he lives out there. He lives outside.
Yeah.
And you're doomed.
One time in particular, I had my restaurant and I got done doing a catering thing. It was late at night, and I stopped at the gas station to get some fuel, and I had like a bunch of leftover shit in my car, like from the gig.
Yeah.
And I was gonna take it back. I was gonna take it home and like give it to my parents and stuff. Because I can't take it back to the restaurant and sell it.
Yeah.
Because it's already been out and like, you know, health standards and stuff. You can't resell it, but it's like there's nothing wrong with it. I used to take food home all the time. It was like I'm not gonna fucking throw it away.
Yeah.
So I got a fucking trunk full of food, dude. Like lots of food. And I roll up and I'm getting gas and this dude's just chilling. He's got a little like fucking flannel over him and he's reading a book. And I walked in and I looked at him. He didn't say shit to me. He looked up and he nodded. But he didn't ask me for anything.
Yeah.
He didn't ask me for money. He didn't ask me for a cigarette. He didn't ask me for nothing. I come out, put fuel in my car. And I get in and I'm just going to drive away. And I think, you know what? I'm going to fucking talk to this old timer. So I jump in the car and I pull up to the curb from the gas pump. And I pull up and I say, hey, old timer, are you hungry?
You called him old timer?
I did. I called him old timer straight to his face.
A lot of guys who are older think that's funny, I guess.
I don't know.
I love doing it.
Most of my friends are older people, so like 50 plus. Like
Yeah.
the people that I would call friends are older than 50.
Yeah.
And if you call them old timer, they think it's funny, and it's like, but it's like it's an acceptable term.
You'll know one
term of
day.
endearment.
Yes.
You know, I can call my dad old man.
I call my dad old fart.
There you go.
What's up, you old fart?
But I roll up on this dude and I said, hey, old timer, are you hungry? And he's like, yeah. And he's just real mellow about it. And it was like stupid shit that I had left over, but like I got out like a handful of things and I gave it to him. And I sat down on the curb and I gave him a cigarette and I just talked to him for like fucking 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was like, you know, how'd you end up out here? Like, what's up? You know, how did you get here? Like, I know you had a life before this. I know you probably had a job and maybe had kids and maybe he's like, he didn't go into a lot of detail because you could tell it fucking hurt him to think about it. But he's like, a lot of bad decisions, man.
Yeah.
Like that's what got me here. He said, and that's why I have my philosophy was that one guy is that if you're homeless, it's because of choices you made. You put yourself there. Nobody else put you there. Yep. If you want out, you know there's a way out, but it requires effort on your part. And this is all shit
It's
that I talked
hard
to
work.
that guy about.
Yeah.
Like, that one dude, like, basically formed my whole opinion on the homeless. And it's like, it's a fucking life choice. And
Yeah.
he just basically, at the end of the day, he said, I like it out here. He says, quiet. He says, I find what I need.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes people are kind and they give me some shit like you're doing right now. He said, sometimes I got to go to the soup kitchen. I don't eat for a few days, whatever it is. He said, but I make it work. And I said, I like it. I like where I'm at. I mean, obviously a lot of other things would be nice, but the lifestyle that I'm living right now is what I've chosen, even if it was wrought from bad choices.
That's I sat down and talked to a homeless gentleman, and there was something that, like, he said that romanticized homelessism for me, if that's a word, homelessism, but like
homelessness,
Vagrancy.
I guess.
Way
like,
to dirty it up, Matt.
But fuck, I was probably 21, 22, and no, I was like 22, 23, but similar situation. Talking to a guy. I had talked to him before I walked into a restaurant. It was right over off of California Street. Walked in, was grabbing a sandwich, and bought a second sandwich. Walked out to sit down and have lunch with this guy. And I was like, how the whole thing, how'd you end up out here? He's telling me that, he had everything and had like a wife and a house and some kids, and his wife was cheating on him, left him, got full custody of the kids. He wasn't allowed to see his kids, and he's like, just decided, like, fuck it. But he said one thing. It's like, what's the one thing that I have that you don't? I was like, fuck, man, I don't really know. Like,
Freedom.
It's like, I do whatever I want at any time. I want to spend 3 days sitting in a park doing absolutely nothing. I can do that. I want to go anywhere. Might take a little more work. Might take a little more
time and effort to get
there. But when I get there, I do whatever the fuck I want.
Interesting take
exactly.
on it.
No, we're slaves, dude. I was telling you this the other
Absolutely.
day.
We are. We're slaves to our
own.
own needs that we create.
We're in the Matrix.
Well, we're slaves to a fallacy that what you're supposed to do is go to work and make money and buy things. I mean,
I very much grew up in the mindset of, like, everything needs to fall for it to get better, and we need to burn this fucking establishment. Everything that is us and what we build in its absence will be better. When you start looking at, like, for me,
more of the same. It's just more of the same.
I was thinking about having kids and thinking about, like, when you bring kids into the world, it's just different. Like, you have to engage in the world because you're basically, my job is to go out and gather resources to give to my children to do what they want to do. That's my job.
Keep them alive, make them part of society.
Give them resources so that they can grow up, be strong. If they want to go and pursue anything that they decide that they're passionate about, I need to be able to provide the resources for them to go and do that. That's
at least to get them
job.
started.
That's my job.
Yeah, and because you brought them into this world, they didn't ask you.
Exactly.
So you have brought a person in as your job to make it available to them.
So you have to engage.
They're your responsibility.
Exactly. You have to engage.
Yeah, so when your daughter wants
system.
that fucking juice, motherfucker, you get her that fucking juice.
Dude, my daughter yesterday, we walked into the house, and so I'm setting my son down.
I love how this leads into a real story.
Oh yeah, this was yesterday.
Okay.
So I set my son down. I'm getting him out of the car seat, and my daughter walks straight into the kitchen. And I hear her open up. We've got their sippy cups and shit in a drawer. So
they can just dive and grab.
I hear her open up the drawer, and so I get Calvin out, and I go walking into the kitchen, and straight off the gate, dude, she has not said a word to me since we got out of the car. She's got the sippy cup in her hand. I reach down, and I'm going to grab the sippy cup and, like, set it on the counter and reach over and open the fridge to get whatever, like, hey, what do you want? You want some milk? You want some juice? Like, what do you want? And so I grab the sippy cup and I set it down, dude, and she grabs the refrigerator door and flings it open, dude. It smacks the fucking counter. Everything in the door starts rattling around. And I'm like, kind of taken back, like, what the hell was that? And she just looks me dead in the eye and goes, juice! Yeah, she did not get juice. But
no, she probably got her ass put in the corner for a minute.
yeah, well, you're going to simmer the hell down and learn how to ask and speak respectfully. But just that, like, that mentality has been happening a lot with stuff where she'll, like, anticipate a no and just go straight to throwing a fit. And I'm like, we need to curb that real
you're
fast.
Not getting shit.
Yeah.
Go to your room.
Go. For us, it's sit down. She sits on the corner of the couch.
Yeah.
TV off, fucking everything. And then when she stops crying, talk to her for a minute. Hey.
Yeah.
This is what you did wrong.
How old is she right now?
She's 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, you got to stomp on that shit because I don't think we did with our first one. So this is kind of a bigger gap. My first one's 7 now. My youngest is 1.
Oh, okay.
So like a little bit.
Yeah.
Like waited way too long.
Nah.
But we learned a lot on the first go around.
Yeah.
But same kind of thing. Like we'll be getting ready to sit down for dinner, and we've been having dinner at the table almost every night for 7 years.
Yeah.
Like, we eat dinner at the table together as a family. Friday night, pizza movie night. We usually sit down at the coffee table and eat pizza and watch a movie.
Yeah.
Or if we go out, but if you go out, it's at a restaurant, and then we expect restaurant behavior and all that stuff. Like, we've been fucking grooming this for a long time. We go to sit down at the fucking table. He's 7 years old, dude. I don't know how many times it's like...
On what's supposed to be a pizza night? Or
No. This is a regular night.
Okay.
This is just regular night. Dinner's ready. Go wash your hands. Come sit at the table. Go sit at the table. Dinner is coming out to the fucking table. Like, we literally have food on plates in our hands. We're setting plates down. We're getting the silverware out. And usually the last thing, after we get all the food set out, everybody's basically sitting down. Me or the wife, we should gather up some drinks, right?
Yeah.
I already got a beer going, so I'll set mine down on the table. So, I know he's having milk because he don't get a choice. It's either milk or water, right?
Yeah, what do you want?
Milk or water. You want one or the other. We usually try to make him have milk because, I don't know, because it's
does
a
the body
social
good.
thing. That's what you give kids, right?
Yeah.
So, I asked the wife, what do you want? And I didn't ask him. I was just pouring him a glass of milk. I had fucking 2 glasses. This happens on a regular basis. Need no bullshit. 2 glasses on the counter. Gallon of milk in my hand. Callan, go sit down at the table. Start eating your dinner. I'm pouring milk. I have 2 glasses of milk in my hand. I am 2 feet away from the fucking table. Milk, please? And I'm like, bro, you can see that I'm
milk bitch, where are you?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, garçon, where the fuck is my milk? And it's like, and I tell him, it's like, dude, I'm standing right here getting ready to give you the milk. And it's like, and you don't ask for shit like that. It's like, may I please have some milk? Like, I like that you use please. That's a good start.
Yeah.
But I was like, it's not always what you say, it's how you say it. And we're like learning that still.
The tone in which you speak is imperative.
And it's funny because I think he's just trying different shit. He just...
Oh, he's testing you.
Seeing where the fence is at.
Yeah, exactly.
Where's the fence at over here? Oh, it's right here. Okay.
This is like a month ago. He's like, sit at the table. Same scenario. Bringing food out to the table. Food's on the table. I'm getting the drinks. Can I get some milk in here?
Oh, shit.
I'm like, do you want to go to bed right now?
Hey, old timer, milk.
Is that dinner to go? You'll be eating in your room and going to bed.
No, they even not even fucking eating dinner. You just go to fucking bed right now. Have you ever? How old's your oldest kid?
2.
2? Wow.
Yeah.
I'm like way ahead of everybody.
I can't wait, dude. It seems like the
It gets
older she
more
gets,
interesting.
it's cooler and cooler.
It's more and more interesting the further you go. And then the second one is even more interesting, I think, and maybe just for me because it's a bigger gap and the kids are so different.
Yeah. Well, I'm already seeing, like, Calvin turned 1 in August, and, like, their personalities are so different.
Is it like
Calvin is
Dakota and
so
Nicole?
mellow.
Dakota and Nicole? Dakota and Nicole?
Kinda.
Don't want to get you in trouble. Dakota,
No,
Dakota
kinda.
and Nicole?
She's kind of like...
Is the juice thing a Nicole thing?
Nicole is very, like, needy and
Wine!
demanding. Needy and demanding. Like, when she needs something, it is like, it needs to happen now.
I remember the leprechaun crawl.
Yeah.
Wine!
Oh.
Wine! I don't think she's ever said that. Or I don't know, has she? She's a wine drinker, though, isn't she?
She likes to pretend to be.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Wine!
But yeah, Calvin is like so mellow. Nothing really bothers him. Dude, I walked out the other day. This was Saturday. Kids are playing. I'm trying to pick up their room real quick. Just throw some toys or put some toys away real quick. And then I walk back out and Morgan has Calvin in a sleeper hold. Like, has her fist, and his neck is in the crick of her arm, and she
You're watching too much MMA.
She is dragging him across the living room.
Oh, dude. Fuck.
Yeah, dude.
Dude.
And I walk out, hey! Like, that needs to stop right now. Loud dad voice. Hey! And
Yep.
she drops
Shut
it.
that shit down.
She drops it and starts crying. Calvin is sitting like, what the hell happened?
He's like, I thought we were
What
playing. What the
yeah,
fuck?
And he gets up and he walks over, grabs the toys, starts doing his thing, and I'm grilling his sister, dude. And he's just, whatever.
You're like, what the fuck you think you're doing?
And he doesn't get bent out of shape. Like he's at the point he's walking around, getting into cabinets and stuff. Like, hey, buddy, get out of there. And he doesn't like freak out. He's like, okay, I'll go find something else to get into. He's super like go with the flow.
Yeah, that's dope.
The only thing is he gets hangry. If he hasn't eaten in a while, he'll start getting like whiny and like here's some fruit snacks, and he's the happiest kid in the world. Dude.
Right.
Morgan is like every little thing is like whether or not it's gonna set her off depends on her mood. And, like trying to read whether or not she took a late nap.
She's a girl, bro.
If she did, then it's gonna be a
That's
bad
just gonna be
afternoon.
the rest of your life.
I guess. I don't know. I try and be consistent. Like if you're an asshole, I'm gonna be an asshole. If you're cool, I'll be cool.
Yeah.
It's a cool understanding. If my
It's
kids
tough.
understand,
It's tough
like
to
if you're
balance
nice
with
to
kids,
people,
man. Yep.
people are going to be nice to you. If you're a dick, people are probably going to be a dick to you.
I believe that is a Jesus quote. Well, this Halloween podcast took a turn for the family.
For the phantomly. Ooh, trying to tie it back in.
So I was trying to go back to like
The Ouija?
sleep terror stuff, right? Like you said, you scream when you have nightmares.
Like I think it starts off. I'm sure we've talked about this before. Like it starts off as like a moan. Obviously, like I'm screaming in my head in my dream, but my mouth is probably closed.
The dream scream.
While in real
right
life,
because you're not able to.
and then
actually
I'll wake
fully-
up screaming.
Right, you make the noise and that wakes you up. So
Like it's like you're trying like you're like there's someone over there and go get them or whatever. Call the cops.
right.
But in real life, it's like.
Dude, my brother used to talk, like, my brother and I shared a room until we were 18. But he, like, full on talking his sleep.
Yeah.
Like articulated,
Conversational
speech.
Wow.
You're like, dude, are you asleep?
Who are you talking
Yeah,
to,
who
bro?
the fuck are you talking to? And there have been multiple times where,
What?
like
You
hey,
hate
dude,
Dakota?
hey, wake up. What the fuck are you doing? One of them was, dude, I woke up, or I woke him up because I was laughing so hard. He's laying on his bed, and I hear across the room, some motherfucking 40 pounds of dog shit.
40 pounds of dog
I just
shit.
start fucking busting up laughing. He wakes up and he's like, dude, I was having this dream about this kid who like kept trying to show everybody up, but then he would like eat shit doing it and then would make excuses as to why it would happen. And I guess he had like eaten shit on a skateboard because he'd been talking to, oh, you can't do that, I'll fucking do it. And then he couldn't do it. And he's like, well, what do you need now? Fucking 40 pounds of dog shit? Is that going to be your excuse? You need 40 pounds of dog shit on your back? Is that what you need?
You need a leg up here.
Yeah.
Your brother, the midget, right?
Yeah.
Your brother's a midget?
He's a 5'11" midget.
No, the last time me and
Because
Dakota
all the rest of your
podcasted,
family's over 6 foot?
Yeah.
Okay.
no, he's shorter than him, and it's weird. It's not like he's a short guy, but he's just shorter than Dakota.
Yeah, my dad's 6'3", I'm 6'4", my brother's 5'11".
You're not 6'4". Bullshit.
I'm like 6'3". And
you're like
some
6'1"
change.
and a half.
No, dude.
Making shit up now.
Dude, we're like 6 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's substantially taller than we are.
Yeah, but him wearing these Crocs today, he
stop
comes
with
in
the
at 6
fucking
feet.
shoes.
He comes in at 6 feet today,
He's not
man.
wearing fucking
I'm like looking
heels,
down
dude.
at him when I'm trying to talk. I'm
You're
like,
always
Kagan,
looking
is
down
that
at me,
you?
you judgmental fuck.
Oh, well, yeah, no, that's true enough. Did you have something to add to the sleep game?
I have.
Before we call
I
it
have
a
like
night?
fucking sleep issues, right?
Beyond the Bane mask.
Right, beyond doing the sleep
I
thing.
was wondering why Sugar Man was right about a plane.
You gotta stop.
You need to talk in the Bane mask to your wife or the Bane voice while you have it on at some point.
Dude.
Like, get some lines down and just roll over.
It would be great, except I think it would be totally lost on her unless
I
we
don't
watch
get
the movie right before I do it.
Do it!
Yeah, no, that would be fucking hilarious. So, I have like the sleep apnea thing. Like Matt's seen it, dude. Like I'll fall asleep while we're podcasting.
Really?
Yeah, like I've
He's
been
a
I've been here.
narcolepsy. A narcolepsy
So
over here.
I can't get anybody to like clinically say you have narcolepsy, but like, 5 out of 6 fucking clinical symptoms, I have.
Yeah.
Like I can sleep anytime during the day, night, doesn't matter. I can just have taken a 3-hour nap and fall asleep.
Narcolepsy.
Oh, God, I wish.
Dude.
Meanwhile, he works at a desk.
Oh, so fucking hard, dude. I gotta get up a lot. I gotta get away from the desk a lot.
Yeah.
So anyway, part of that is sleep paralysis is one of the things that happens.
Yeah.
And you get sleep paralysis normally, except I feel awake sometimes. So
I thought that was sleep paralysis.
Sleep paralysis
is
is
you wake
when
up
you-
and it feels like somebody's on your chest and you can't
It's not
get up.
even. It's not like everybody wants to make it like, oh, you feel like there's something on your chest or like,
Like
there's
that
an
you're
entity
pinned
or
down.
whatever.
Yeah.
No, like I know, like, and I've had it happen to me so many times now that I get it and I try not to let it freak me out. I like think through it.
Yeah.
while
You
it's
should
happening.
watch that movie that the documentary called The Nightmare, I think, and it's about a bunch of different people and all their accounts. And
So-
it's all different stuff.
I've been having this since I was a little kid, and then like I started to really like it used to be aliens for me. Like I would have like this lucid dream of like being,
There's a guy that talks
Near
about
aliens.
aliens in this documentary.
and I'm trying to scream but I can't, and I'm in my bed, like with my eyes open. It's like every like Close Encounter story you've ever heard. Like while I was laying there and I couldn't move, and I was trying to tell somebody that there was a thing in the room, and that's another part. Like you see shit that you think is there, but you can't interact. You can't do anything. So until you can like rationalize it, like
Until you
I
can't.
used like when I first started having it as an adult, like it went away for a while, but I started having like where I was literally awake. Like I could see the room, my eyes were open enough so that I could see into the room. I can't fucking get up and I can't move. And I'm trying to like lift an arm and it's just like it almost burns because I'm trying mentally so hard to lift an arm. And I can see in the room, I can see that my wife is in the room. She's laying in the bed next to me. And usually it's like because I fall asleep before she does, so she's getting ready for bed and she lays down. And I'm laying there and I can see. And I asked the wife, like, later on. So I either usually go back to sleep and then come back out, or over this, like, long period of time, it feels like hours, dude. It feels like forever. Like, where you can't move and you're trying to do something to wake yourself up.
Something.
Like, you want to wake yourself up and you want to get yourself up, but you can't. But you're already awake because you can see. And it's fucking real shit because I'll recount what happened to the wife. I was like, hey... Did you hear me trying to say something last night? Because I know I can make sound now, and I can like move a little bit sometimes. But you have to fucking try like super hard, and it's fucking terrifying. But you like literally feel pinned down and motionless, like you just can't do shit. She's like, yeah, you were like doing this weird like moaning thing, like where you're like,
Sounds just like me, dude.
yeah, and then I was like, okay, but were you doing this? Like, I'll try to recall the account of what I remember having seen.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, I got up and I went, and the bathroom and they came back.
It's like an out-of-body experience.
You were making this noise, and you had your arm was like shaking, and then you stopped. And then I laid down and I just thought you were asleep, and I thought you were just having a bad dream or something. But you haven't fucking woken up like crying, like bawling.
Yeah.
Because I'm having this thing, and then finally like come out of it.
And is it instantaneous, or is it like
it's a
like when your
slow
foot,
melt?
Like when your foot falls asleep
Yep.
and it like slowly comes back and you can slowly like move a little bit. Oh, that's fucking freaky, dude.
It's more slow in the dream aspect of it.
Yeah.
But then once you finally get out, it's instantaneous.
It's
like,
immediate.
yeah, it's...
like it feels like
kind
it
of
takes
a contradictory
forever.
thing to say.
It feels like it takes forever to get out.
But once it happens...
But once you get like to the edge where your body's like, okay, we're going to turn that
shit
shit off. Then you're like,
comes back to
oh,
speed.
fuck. And then you can get up and stuff. Super trip. That's like super fucking trippy, but it's scary. Like, I think one of the things that people miss about being afraid of something is like true fear. Like, you watch a scary movie. Like, you're not really fucking afraid of what's happening in a film.
Yeah, we lost.
Like, as adults, you know. Did we lose our Facebook
Oh, this
feed?
has been... Yeah, everything stopped. Like, the YouTube music stopped. The Facebook stopped. And this thing has been in and out. Thankfully, we have the backup.
Sure. Well, hopefully the audio's decent enough.
Well,
So...
I mean, look. It's all over.
That's a trip. It's still counting.
Yeah, it's still counting, but you look at right there's a nice big chunk.
Radio silence.
Anyways.
But the prospect of real fear, what are you really afraid of? Like, I'm afraid of somebody fucking killing me or stealing my kids or whatever, right? Like, actual things to be afraid of. You're not afraid of the fucking boogeyman. You know the boogeyman's not real.
Yeah.
Like, in your really in the back of your mind, you know that there's not a fucking axe murderer that's going to chop your door down and slaughter your family in the house. Like, that's not really likely.
Yeah.
It's not, doesn't sound great. It sounds bad and bad.
Yeah.
And if it were possible, it is possible,
Because it's happened.
but it's not likely.
Yes.
Right? So watching a scary film, like, instills this, I feel afraid because it's eliciting that emotion from you.
Yeah, it seems more tangible when you're viewing it.
Right. And film and effects and stuff, it makes it really fucking good. Like you can see it and feel it and you feel like you're there.
Yeah.
And good films elicit, responses like that. That's why we make and watch films.
Empathy.
Yeah. Exactly. And it crosses the line everywhere. It could be love, it could be humor, it could be fear.
Yeah.
But experiencing real fear, most people don't get real fear most of the time. Like, what are you really afraid of? Some women or people are like legit afraid of fucking spiders. Like, they are afraid of bees or some shit like that. You afraid of bees?
I'm fucking horrified of bees. And every time...
You ever been stung?
Yes. And I have had a recurring dream since, like, as long as I can fucking remember, that I am getting swarmed by bees, and it always ends in me jumping into a body of water and going down into the water, and I'm looking up, and they're just fucking, and then I have to go up for air and just getting fucking stung like a motherfucker, go back down, and I always wake up like 2 or 3 times going under the water, and I wake up. It's fucking horrifying, and it's like a... I jumped off of... So I'm back out at the water reclamation facility. But the last time that we were out there, we were doing a bunch of HVAC stuff. I'm drilling through a steel building. And on the inside of this corner, there was a yellow jacket's nest. I disturbed the yellow jacket's nest when I fucking put the drill through there.
Pissed them off, didn't you?
Dude, and probably 6 or 7 of these motherfuckers came jumping out. I'm on like a building mounted ladder that's probably up like a good 8-10 feet from the deck, and I just fucking jumped. Dude, fucking dropped the drill, bailed. Like, yeah, John calls it my fucking bee dance, because I literally ran just fucking doing this all the way back inside. Probably a good 20-30 feet across the deck, there was a door back into the building.
That's legit fear.
It's fucking horrifying, dude. Fuck
Absolutely.
that. And I know rationally that, like, the likelihood of being swarmed by a fuckload of bees and, like, being stung to death so fucking minuscule.
Yeah.
But, like, in that moment, there's no rationalizing it.
No. Because it's a real fear.
Yeah.
It's like legit fear. A lot of people don't have that, or they don't rationalize it.
Or they don't think about it up the front. Trigger.
Right.
Enough, yeah.
Exactly. Like, I don't know what I'm afraid of. Like, I can't tell you something that I'm afraid of like that.
Yeah.
Because I try to train my mind for certain things. Like, I'm not afraid of being attacked. If you're going to fucking attack me, yeah, I'm going to get a fucking adrenaline boost, but I'm not afraid that it's going to happen.
Exactly.
I'm not afraid that something...
When you're by yourself.
Negative. No, absolutely.
But
no,
if you've got your family with
you... If I have my family with me, I'm still not afraid.
No. I know how I would handle it. And my wife knows how she would handle it. Get the kids and yourself out of here. I'm going to handle whatever the fuck's coming this way.
You guys fucking split.
Yeah, you guys get the fuck out of here.
So mental preparation and...
You become a different person. I think we've talked about this stuff.
We have. So mental preparation and readiness is not the same as fear. Like, when Dakota's fucking scared shitless of being swarmed by fucking bees, he sees more than one fucking wasp or bee at a time, he's fucking gone. Like, you're not going to tell him, oh, it's just a bee, or he's not going to stand there and try to whack it with his hat. He's fucking going to split. Because he's legit afraid of that.
Yeah, more than two, dude. I'm fucking out.
And I'm not saying there's nothing. I'm not saying there's nothing that I'm afraid of. Like, there's shit that I don't like. Like, I'm not really fond of like open heights, like open air heights.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't mind climbing ladders and shit. I can feel it, but I can overcome it.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't scare me to
but
the
if you
point
were like,
where I'm not...
hey, here's this boom lift and you need to get 75 feet in the air, like, you might have, like, an adverse reaction to that. Because I've been in instances with people who are afraid of heights, and there's a threshold.
Yeah.
But you exceed that threshold, and some wacky shit starts happening.
You know, because I climb, 15, 20-foot ladders all the time.
Yeah.
I go up on top of a building, no problem.
Yep.
But I get vertigo, too. Like, a little bit. Like, if you get too close to the fucking edge and you start looking down, it's like, woo, okay. But it's not, like, enough. But the thing itself doesn't scare me.
Yes.
So,
but
I'm not saying there's nothing, but I don't know what it is that does scare me to that level, to, like, the raw fear. I mean, do you have anything that scares the shit out of you like that?
I would say heights. I've had to go and, like, do the catwalk in the theater and do the lights up there and look down, and I've been in plenty of high places.
So maybe it's a threshold thing. Like, you're not afraid of RB.
Or it's like what your experience is. We were servicing out at the Sherwin-Williams plant out in Fernley. Okay. We were servicing the pole lights. They're 75 feet. And so my buddy, we needed two of us on the boom lift. It's me and another apprentice. And so the first day that he went to work, I was like probably 6 or 7 months in, and he goes to climb up to an 8-foot ladder and gets like 3 or 4 rungs from the top where like you kind of take your hands off and kind of lean on it a little bit, and he's like shaking and like, oh, terrified of heights, dude. He's good on ladders now. He's good on like fixed things. We're up on a boom lift. And so as you move this thing around, and especially once you get like up and out at 75 feet, you need to pivot that thing. The whole thing fucking sways around. The wind blows aggressively. It moves around. And we did the first light, and he's like, he fucking threw up off the lift, and he was like, dude, I got to get down. Like, take me down now. And so the journeyman who was prepping all the lights had to switch him out and like get on the lift with me, and he prepped lights while he and I went up and changed these things out. But that experience, it's not rational. And the way that people act and like your biological reactions, like he fucking threw up. Like, that's not something that you just do.
No.
When you experience heights. Like, I was up there, I was fine. The thing's moving around a little uneasy, but I understand that like these things are governed and switched, and you're not supposed to exceed, like, if it exceeds any amount of weight on a single tire, then it shuts off and won't allow you to go further or maneuver anywhere but back in. Like, those lifts are pretty smart, man. And so my faith in that makes me rationalize those feelings of fear away. And like, when you reach something that you're not able to, when you're in that situation, you can't rationalize your way out of it. That's that true fear thing that you're talking about. It's just like, it's fucking 10 feet down to this deck, and I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm fucking just gone, like, dude.
Gone. You could have fucking broke both legs to win a giving a shit.
Yeah,
you're just gone.
I'm getting the fuck inside because that's what I need to do right now. And again, there's no rationalizing that like, oh, I just disturbed their nest. They're going to come out, kind of check things out. If they land on me, then kind of, bat them away, but don't do it aggressively.
Actually,
like
wasps.
Again, to me, these are Africanized bees, and they're going to sting me to death. In that moment, that's what goes through my head is like, there's going to be 50 more of these motherfuckers, and they're going to kill me.
You hate them.
I hate bees, dude.
You hate the Africans.
No, Africanized bees. It's... No.
So you're talking about like wasps or yellow jackets?
Yeah.
Yeah, not bumblebees.
Yeah, they don't make no sense.
No.
Bumblebees, I totally understand the bees need to be around. I don't like kill bees. A little honeybee.
Well, and that's the thing.
Buzzing around. I'm all about it, dude.
There's a big fucking difference in like the way they act.
Exactly. Honeybees don't fucking fly at you.
No, they don't.
They're just like even
they're
if you bump into one, they're like
like
about your business. I'm
you
out.
look like a flower. I'm gonna smooth you. There's
You look
nothing
like
going
a
on
flower.
over here.
Yep.
And you just kind of like, yeah, okay, dude, just fucking
it's
go
like,
away somewhere.
Yeah, get out of here.
just
They're
You
kinda
like,
probably
okay,
saw the
you
Crocs
know.
you were wearing, Dakota.
yeah, fuck you.
But a yellow jacket, they don't give a fuck. They'll just come over and sting you just cause fuck you.
Yeah, because they're dicks.
They're assholes. Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. I stepped on a fucking nest in the woods one time. Fucking mud, like these little fucking paper wasps, right?
Yep.
But they had built a fucking nest under like the detritus of the ground floor of the forest, right? So it's all pine needles and pine cones and bark and bullshit.
Yeah.
It's like we're literally out in the fucking woods, and we're trying to walk down this hill, and I stepped directly on a fucking nest.
On the wrong spot.
It was like stepping on a
Landmine.
fucking landmine.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Like, I imagine, except for the speed at which it happened, like, if I had stepped on a mine, just dead. Like, boom, you step off it, you're done. That's it. I fucking stepped on it. I felt a pinch on one finger. I looked down. There were two fucking, yellow jackets on my hand. I went like this. Next thing I know,
I would have shit my pants.
they're fucking everywhere, dude.
Were you wearing shorts?
I was wearing shorts, like swim trunks, okay? Thong sandals. Thong sandals. I got my
Oh,
fucking...
you stepped on it in a thong, huh?
in thong sandals. In fucking swim trunks. And I have my fucking 4-year-old with me. He's standing, like, we're holding hands, dude. And we're walking down this hill to go fishing in this little creek down the way. And we're trying to get down there, but we're like snaking our way down, and he's kind of afraid of the hill, and it's the incline and stuff.
Cut across it a little bit.
So we're like going down. I step on this fucking thing. I see the fucking bee. I flip. I see just up around me. Like, this is nightmare fuel for you. Like, if you had been in that situation,
dude.
I can imagine the way you would have reacted.
I would have shit
look
and
on his
hoped that the
face.
smell deterred the bees from wanting to be near me. That would have been
I
the
fucking
answer.
dropped everything. I grabbed my kid under one arm like this and ran directly out of my fucking sandals and across about, 75 yards of fucking pine needles, pine cones, and everything else with no shoes on.
To get to
just
the
fucking
water?
split. I got stung about 18 times. On my face, on my neck, and my arms, and my legs and shit. Dude, the fucking pain was insane. Like, I didn't even know what to do
Yeah.
with myself. Like,
See, when you're not reacting by fear, this is probably like a terrible thing to say, but I equate it to like eating shit on like a skateboard or a bike. Mm-hmm. I love that feeling of like everything going into slow motion and like it seems like way longer than it is. You're like, how am I reacting? And there's like almost an analysis to like, oh fuck, there's the bees. Oh shit. Grab the kid, drop the shit, get the fuck over there. And like that
just deal.
Yeah, and like that like autopilot.
Yeah.
I like that feeling.
I like how I react to that feeling because I've trained in like high intensity situations for certain things.
Yeah.
Like I dig shooting sports. So I get a fucking adrenaline rush when the timer goes off and you start running a course.
Yeah.
I find that being able to operate fine motor skill under duress of just like straight adrenaline, it makes me feel good that when real events happen, you can actually operate like consciously.
Exactly.
And shit, like you said, it fucking just bullet time. You're like, things happening, I see what's going on, make a decision, start, okay, let's do this. And the situation's over and then everything's clear. But then you look around you and you see all this chaos and people like doing things that don't make sense.
Yep.
And you're like, weird.
Exactly.
It doesn't strike you that way.
Exactly.
And fear. I'm not afraid in those. I've had like these 1% situations where you have to make a fucking choice to do something that may or may not affect your ability to continue living.
Yeah.
And you make a choice and you go that way and you do shit.
There's no time for second guessing. There's no time for rationalizing. There's no time. And it's like, you've hit that point of autopilot. And when it works out, or when it's like...
when you do the right thing.
Yeah, the one for me is... There's two instances. One of them, I was out snowboarding, and I was in an out-of-bounds area, but it's maintained. I was at Alpine Meadows, and so it kind of comes down off of a rock and kind of splits off in two directions and then pinches back down below the rock. The wind had been blowing up the hill, so you have a huge pack of snow at the bottom of this rock. So it's probably 15, 20 vertical feet. First run of the day in this area. My buddy's like, okay, you go ahead. I'm like, fuck yeah. Straight off the rock, I hit toe side edge, and I start to try and scrub some speed. And so scrubbing speed, and as I look uphill, I see a shitload of snow piling at me. Like, I didn't know how big of a slide. I wasn't sure if it was just like a bunch of slough, or like if there was. I just saw like the wall of snow, probably 2 or 3 feet tall. And so it sweeps my feet out from under me. And so I'm trying to edge through the falling snow. And I get myself down at the bottom of this. Why I was starting to turn left is there's a bunch of trees that run into like a creek. So you need to drop down and then follow. There's like a little traverse trail. I bumped straight off the traverse trail and end up just dumped out in some trees. But that like edging and trying to control, because there's like rocks and trees and everything, but learning to control my body, trying to keep my weight over my feet to keep my upper part of my body up. Like, when it works out, it's amazing. Mm-hmm. Because again, it probably took maybe 6-7 seconds for that whole thing to play out, but in my head it's much longer than that.
Absolutely.
Then the other one is eating shit longboarding. I was in a pair of Vans, some shorts, and a tank top. My brother and I are doing probably 40, 45 down Las Brisas, like where Squeeze In is in Northwest Reno. Yeah. That road that goes all the way back up to McQueen. We parked my car up at McQueen. I'm down by that park right behind the Squeeze In, and fucking hauling ass. And I hear a car horn beep behind me. When I turn around, I weight my toe edge like hard. So, yeah, it starts to scrub. I dump a turn the other way. The board stops. So I don't. So I start I get 1 foot down, realize that I'm moving way too fucking fast to run this out. So I just tuck and roll. And I rolled probably 5 or 6 times.
Wow.
And hit my feet and dove onto the sidewalk because I wasn't sure if the car was going to hit me. But in zero gear, it was like forever. It was that decision. Okay, tuck and roll, keep rolling, keep rolling, keep rolling, keep rolling. You're going slow enough for you to stop and like dive out of the way now. Dive out of the way.
Bet you wish you had that on film.
Oh fuck, dude! I think
we have this story from when it happened on an older podcast.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt that, dude. That sucked. And then my brother and I had to walk like 1.5 miles back up to my fucking car.
Well, wouldn't you have had to walk up anyways?
He ate shit too.
Like,
he panicked. He's what's called Mongo, where you push with your front foot.
Okay.
And so he goes to dump his foot off the skateboard, and normally he like turns and drags his foot behind the whole skateboard. He just puts all of his weight on his front foot, like while it's still forward.
Essentially,
yeah, dude. And just literally he like just launched himself and fucking tumbled. Yeah, dude, that sucked. But again, it's that if I could find a way to get that like
mainline that fucking
that just that's like why adrenaline dump, dude.
That's why people are adrenaline junkies, dude. That's why people go snowboarding. That's why they do longboarding. That's why they fucking do downhill.
Yeah,
like crazy off-road mountain biking. all the way up to skydiving and fucking like, what's the
Have you ever
craziest
skydove?
shit you can do? Dude, I want to.
It's so good.
I want
so
to
fucking good.
so bad, but the wife basically will not allow it until the kids are old enough.
Totally understand. Yeah.
Like, if I had done it before we had kids, whole different story.
Yeah.
But in
I'll
her,
take
in
the
her
risk of you
family, in
fucking
her defense, like her
turning into Play-Doh.
her girlfriend from high school,
I don't get it.
her uncle had a skydiving accident.
Oh yeah.
So like she grew up with these people and knew the family, and he didn't die.
You just got super
He got
fucked up.
fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, his shit didn't open all the way, and he hit the fucking ground. Like, legs, back, pelvis, you fucking name it. It was broken.
Everything.
And he's upright, dude. He's fucking tall too. This guy is like probably closer to 7 feet tall
Holy
than
shit.
he is 6 feet.
Yeah.
Like, he's a really tall motherfucker, and he's upright and he walks, and he's a fucking like a general contractor kind of guy.
Well, it's just like
So
that
he
dude
does.
that cut his hand off or whatever. The movie that they made, 127 Hours. where
Oh
the
yeah,
dude-
because he to free himself from the rocks. or
right,
whatever.
and then he keeps doing the.
Yeah.
Didn't stop him any.
No.
He still does his.
Yeah, you can still do your shit. You know, you just have to.
Well, I mean, some people get into those experiences and it's like never again.
Yeah. Create an aversion.
So, but that's why people like doing like high risk activities, because that feeling is good. That's why we like scary movies. That's why we like shit, because we want to be scared.
Oh yeah.
But we like roller coasters and fucking, drop zone type shit. You want to feel like you're gonna fucking die. Because we don't
is
have
super
that
fun.
in our we don't have that in our society. We don't have that thing where something typically could kill you on a daily basis. Like, we don't have fucking
I like to go walk down on Montello sometimes.
Yeah, you get that rush. Get that rush going. Like for me,
Orale, Holmes. ¿Qué pasa? I'm like,
hey, what's up, putos?
I get a nice rush going.
Yeah.
By the time I reach the end of the block,
Well, for me,
I'm
it's
running,
it's
but
driving.
I mean,
oh yeah.
Like I get a solid rush from driving. So that's basically.
if
my
I could
fix
never
on a
drive
daily
again,
basis.
that would be great. I hate driving.
But I have a fun car to drive, so
But if you drive fast and awesome,
yeah,
it's awesome.
super awesome.
No.
And it was really funny is
Wait, what do you have? What'd you get?
WRX 19, like 2019 WRX.
Are you serious?
Super fun to drive, bro. It's like, dude, I could, yeah.
That's
Turbos
the
are
most
so much
addicting
fun.
feeling.
Isn't it though? It's like torque on demand.
I got like a nice V8 and I can't keep my foot out of it. Like that feeling of like I can burn the tires and I reach down and turn the traction control off just for the fuck of it.
Yeah.
I got a left-hand turn.
I don't get it.
I don't get it.
It's
That's
so
totally
much
not
fun.
a car guy.
But if I crashed my car, I would be so bummed.
So, I have had little pucker instances in my car where you get overconfident and you start like leaning into some shit and you're like, whoops.
Yeah, it's like, oh, the line's right there. We're going to stop. Okay.
Like, yeah, you're like towing up to the line and you go, okay, we crossed it a little bit. I almost fucking wrecked my brand new car. Shit my pants a little. Gonna back it off and fuzz now.
Yeah, I'm good for about a month.
No, dude, like the next day or like 4 hours later, you're like, hey, start leaning on a little bit more, like you work.
Where
back
was
up
that
to
line
it.
at?
Yeah, it's like, but we wonder where our kids get it, like why they want to test. It's like fucking we're all the same. We're like test out to the edge, and they're like, oh, okay, found it, and you just go poke the fence in a different place. So
I don't get it.
I don't get it.
Is that a podcast for
I want to
tonight?
throw you
I
out
think
of an
that's
airplane, Matt.
God, no.
I do.
It's
I really do.
you will die trying.
Have you been?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's
like more
the
than
cool-
once.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
the most fun you can have with your clothes on.
He did it naked.
No, you didn't.
so when I went,
I've seen that video. It looks uncomfortable.
there was a
Tandem.
tandem.
Right, yeah, that's how you have to do your first one.
You have to do your first several like that.
Yeah, there's like a number, and then
You can do
do
solo,
static-
but you're
solo, and then
but you're supervised,
Right.
and then you can go and do your own free stuff after a certain number. But it's like getting that certification.
Right.
Then you can go whenever you
you
want.
can do whatever the fuck you want as long as somebody will let you jump out of their plane. You're good to go.
Yeah, pretty much. United Airlines.
Everyone, buckle in. We've got a passenger that's pulled the cord for his stop.
You may feel a slight depressurization of the cabin.
The oxygen mask will drop. Please feel free to put it on yourself.
Remember, extend the mask. Place it over your nose and mouth. The bag may not inflate even though oxygen is flowing. If you have small children with you, please affix your mask first and then help smaller children and elderly.
5, 4, 3, here he goes.
But
Wave to him, everybody.
It was
Bye, Dakota. And we're back.
The first time I went, the only guy who was available for tandem was this little tiny guy from Argentina.
I didn't know your brother worked there.
Pretty much. But this guy was like 5'6", and so
you're like standing up and he's like,
we're strapping up to get on the plane, and he's looking at me and he's like, "Hey man, I'm gonna have to like piggyback you to the door." So like you're gonna be
all right.
Normally they're kind of the ones like you sit and hang your feet out and they kind of like push the package off.
But he's like, you're gonna have to jump us out of this motherfucker.
Yeah, he's like, I'm just kind of gonna hold on and you're the one jumping. I'll give you the countdown and everything, but we're off your feet.
But you guys were still attached.
Yeah, he was still on he was basically driving the parachute.
Right.
And
because he knows how to run the gear.
It was like a baby on your fucking.
But dude,
it's like
you are so fucking far off the ground that there's no sense of like falling. You feel like the air and shit
is coming at you.
Where we went, it's 60 seconds of free fall. You're just fucking yeah. It's the coolest feeling ever.
How long does it feel like?
You
said it's 60 seconds, but it feels like an
fucking
hour.
Forever. But then the only scary part is like you're flying in the parachute,
and then the ground starts coming.
And you realize like that's not slow. You're not going down.
No, you're going like
slow.
15, 20 miles an hour.
So it's a
vertical,
nice, neat little cruise.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. And he comes out in big bank turn to the left, and he's like, "All right, ground's coming." And the deal was like, I sit down, and he runs it out, and he'll just kind of like make sure that I don't destroy my spine. And so, yeah, dude, fucking hauling ass down, and he like scoops right before the ground. Yeah, dude. Scoops right before the ground, kind of sets us down nice and easy. Fucking awesome.
Still, the reason why I haven't done it is because I got to be like well under 250.
Yeah, 250 was the weight limit. I was like 220.
That was the maximum. Yeah. So, I didn't do it when I was younger because I was like knocking over 250.
You should do it.
I want to so bad.
It's so cool. Matt, you should go.
Nah.
If I pay for it and drive you there.
I'm well over 250 right now.
And
take you to the gym
take
for a
you to
little
the
while.
gym for a little bit.
All right, well, let's call that an episode.
Happy Halloween.
Some nice scares.
Bitches.
An episode.
Maybe we'll come back next time with a Ouija board.
Quidja.
I'm at Bonta.
Cory, Easley.
And